There's a reason why it was important to liquidate black consciousness and nip it in the bud. If you allowed black consciousness to thrive, one of the spin-offs, I think, would have been a thinking black population, which is not easy to manipulate. A population which would not say, if we don't vote for this party, there won't be pension money available for our people. A population which understands that the government does not have money. The money the government spends is our tax, and therefore would be available under any other government.
Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Uncle P with another episode of Uncle P's podcast. Guys, quick one. That video you got up, the setup. Guys, I'm at my dad's house having a bit of power issues in my crib for the last 3 days. Tried to go resolve it. The municipality, there's a strike happening in Germiston. A lot is happening in the country, guys. And that strike made me realize something. It made me realize that South Africans have a voice that many of us do not have in our countries. And one of the reasons why we fight for the rights here is because we know that going back home, the rights are not the same. The reality is, if you listen to that video in the beginning, it's saying it. Many of us have our independence for over 60 years. But what did we do with it? What did we do with that freedom? Absolutely nothing. A lot of us cannot strike the way you strike in this country, cannot voice ourselves the way you voice yourselves in this country. The South African mind woke up 30 years too early. And that's why you see the creation of the GNU happened. They did not anticipate that the ANC was going to lose power this quickly. They thought they could manipulate the mind of the South African for years and years, perhaps maybe even 60 years after they've done a culture contamination and switched you guys up to such an extent where your culture, your values, and your ways no longer meant absolutely nothing. You shook their plans, and this is where the problem now is becoming. I want to show you guys something, because a lot of people come here and accuse South Africa for a lot of things. They know their rights, but do they know their rights in their own country? This story, when I heard it, I was like, you know what? This is hilarious. Because when they come to South Africa, they're all about their rights and what they deserve. Human rights this, human rights that. My question is, does human rights only work in South Africa, not in their countries? Let's dissect this.
I was at Beitbridge, the Zimbabwean side, for quite some days. And I happened to visit the hospital, the Beitbridge District Hospital. I have got dates, I have got the evidence, I have got the stamps. I did accompany somebody who was not feeling well in the late hours of around 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. When we went to the hospital, the nurse wrote a certain prescription and handed over me the paper. And I said, what am I supposed to do here? The nurse said, you need to go and purchase the items mentioned on such a prescription. I said, where can I go and buy them? He said, around here, there are a lot of pharmacies that are still opened. For sure, a few meters away, I went to the pharmacy. I purchased those items at a cost of $13 US. I came back. When I opened the package, there were some items that I recall. There was a pipe for a drip and 2 connectors for that drip, the other one which connects the drip and the other one that connects to the human body. There was also a needle, 2 needles for testing sugar diabetes. If you are to be tested sugar diabetes, some they know the health jargons which they use.
Basically, in short, these are things that you get in this country for free. These are things when you go to a clinic, any hospital, government hospital, you get for free. There is no way they ever give you a prescription to basically go somewhere and purchase something. But let's continue to listen, because it gets interesting.
I fed the acid a lot of people who were at the hospital. Then they told me that here, if you are admitted, you pay $6 for the bed per day.
Admission, $6 for the bed per day. So it's not free. Let's continue.
$6 US. For scanning, you pay $20 US. When our women are giving birth at such a hospital, they pay for jik and domestos. Believed that they've spoiled the sheets, and such sheets needs to be washed.
They pay for jig and domestos, believing that they have spoiled the sheets because they've used them. Show me which government hospital, clinic does this. So do you understand now that the treatment that they get here, it is so heavenly and so godly? This is the reason why they fight for it the way they do. Because in their own country, they pay for every single thing, and they are paying in US dollar value. So if we just take these totals and put them together, this is how much at minimum. And keep in mind, this is per day. And they're coming to ASA for terminal illnesses.
Therefore, today I ask the Minister of Health. I ask the Ministry of Health. I ask the so-called activists. I ask the so-called oppositional political party leaders. And those that are in the ruling part of ZANU-PF. Are you aware of that? Why is it that our people are suffering to such an extent? Imagine if such a person have got...
Asking if they're aware of it. Of course they're aware of it. How are they not going to be aware? And if they are not aware of it, that means that they live in an ungoverned country. And this is the reality that, guys, I keep saying that there is no hope for many of these nations. Absolutely none whatsoever. They would rather be unalived than to be sent back to nothing. And what's worse, this is currently happening also in that very same nation.
National People's Conference of ZANU-PF held on 26 October 2024 in Bulawayo resolved as follows. In recognition of the extensive developmental milestones and the significant socio-economic progress achieved under the leadership of the President and First Secretary of ZANU-PF, His Excellency Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, it is resolved that his term of office as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe be extended beyond 2028 to 2030. The party...
Imagine Cyril Ramaphosa just wakes up and decides, you know what, I'm going to change the constitution. I'm going to give myself an additional 2 years up in this bitch. Yeah, nah. But for it, when I tell you lawless nations, they have absolutely no say in what happens in their country, and they will not be able to strike for it. Where's Rotundo? Where is it? Why is he not speaking? Why is he not complaining? Why is he not fighting? Where is the Human Rights Commission? Absolutely nowhere. But their balls, their energy in SA all of a Sunday works. Why? Because there are laws that work in this nation that they can use and abuse against the natives of this country. Guys, when I say a luta continua, I mean the luta continua. It is a fight that you do not give up on, and it's a fight that you do not sleep on. Because by tomorrow, they will end up taking over. Because the reality is there's a lot of changes happening in this country that people are distracted by. What am I talking about?
2 new cities are currently being built in Gauteng, and everyone is asking the same question: how is there space for this? The 27 billion rand Southern Farms mega city project has officially broken ground in the south of Johannesburg. They've been planning this for over 10 years, and it will provide 43,000 new households as well as schools, clinics and more. And meanwhile, this year the Bankenveld District City project has also been approved, which will be built between Sandton and Waterfall City. In addition to 20,000 households, it will also have a massive mall, businesses, schools and hospitals. Now technically these are more like massive neighborhoods rather than cities. However, combined they will provide a new population of around 200,000 people. So the question is, do you think this is a good idea or not?
The question is, do you think this is a good idea or not? A new population of 200,000 people. Where are 200,000 people coming from? What new population? If the current population has a problem with housing, the current population has a problem with employment, the current population, like, guys, make this make sense. Who are they hiring to clean their houses, their gardens, and so forth? Guys, when I say this fight is serious, I mean this fight is serious. You sleep, you snooze, you lose. This is literally what is about to happen here. So a new population of 200,000. Who? From where? If the current population is not being catered for yet. Guys, like I always say, if you like the truth, this is the channel to subscribe to. I'm your boy Uncle P, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers.